As I entered the dusty old library, an unsettling chill ran down my spine. The room, bathed in dim light, felt like a tomb of lost knowledge, where time seemed to hold its breath and clocks tick backwards, defying the very nature of reality. I had always been drawn to places with stories etched into their walls, but here, there was something more, an anomaly that unsettled my eager spirit. The shelves, lined with ancient tomes and leather-bound mysteries, beckoned me closer, each book a whisper of the past waiting to be unveiled. As I walked deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of the library, the shadows danced upon the walls, flickering like the remnants of forgotten memories. My fingertips traced the spines of books, their dust-covered surfaces betraying years of neglect. The air was stagnant, thick with a palpable sense of anticipation. It was as if I had stumbled upon a secret door to a realm in which the forgotten tales yearned to escape. On one of the reading tables, a peculiar volume lay open, its pages yellowed and crinkled. The words inside were written in a script that felt foreign, yet oddly familiar, luring me closer. The Language of the Lost, the title read. I felt a magnetic pull, as if the book itself recognized my presence, urging me to decipher its cryptic messages. What secrets were trapped within these pages? And how had they come to rest in this forgotten corner? I wondered about the previous library patrons. Who had read these books before me? Did they feel the weight of time pressing upon their shoulders? It was in this moment of reflection, surrounded by the eerie stillness, that my gaze drifted to an ornate grandfather clock in the corner. To my astonishment, the hands were moving backward. Confusion washed over me. How could a clock function in such a manner? I could almost hear the ticking echo through the silence, a sinister reminder that this place was governed by rules beyond my understanding. The deeper I explored, the more uneasy I became. Books began to whisper their tales, and the shadows seemed to elongate, reaching out towards me. Each step echoed, amplifying the loneliness that surrounded me. Suddenly, I heard the sound of pages turning, a soft rustle that seemed to come from nowhere and yet everywhere. My heart raced, and I felt the chill intensify as if unseen eyes scrutinized my every move. With trepidation, I turned to face the source of the sound, and my breath caught in my throat. There, at the far end of a shelf, stood a figure cloaked in darkness. Only the faint glimmer of spectacles reflected the dim light, masking the features of this mysterious individual. I felt compelled to approach, craving answers to the unsettling questions swirling in my mind. What was their purpose here? Were they a guardian of the knowledge contained within these walls? Or perhaps a wanderer, like myself, lost in the mist of time? As I got closer, the figure appeared to be studying a book, a large volume adorned with a design I could not quite discern. Its spine glowed faintly, pulsing as if embodying a life of its own. I cautiously reached for the edge of the shelf for balance, the tension growing thick in the air. But just as I was about to speak, the figure turned, revealing an expression of alarm that matched the dread I had felt since entering the library. Then came the twist. In a hurried whisper, they urged me to leave, the urgency in their voice betraying a grim reality I was yet to understand. You must not linger. The stories here are not all benign. They crave something to prize for their knowledge. Every reader pays some with their sanity, others with their very souls. My thoughts raced. How could stories extracted from books wield such power? I glanced at the grandfather clock once again, and to my horror, I realized it was no longer ticking backward. Instead, it was silent, ominously still, as though waiting to mark a moment of reckoning. My heart raced as I stepped back, my mind battling with disbelief and curiosity. The very ground beneath me felt unstable, haunted by the whispers of tales begging to be told. I heard a groan from the walls, as if the library itself lamented my presence. Fear seized my heart, and I turned on my heel, seeking the closest exit, praying to escape the grip of whatever enchantment held this library in its thrall. But then I stumbled upon another corridor that I hadn't noticed before, twisting like a serpent into the shadows. I was compelled to explore, my legs moving of their own accord. Here, the clock stopped ticking altogether, and an unsettling silence hung in the air, throbbing with unfulfilled stories. Was the library a sanctuary or a prison? Each choice I made felt weighed down by the gravity of the untold. As I fled deeper into the bowels of the library, I couldn't shake the feeling that time had warped around me. Was I even moving forward, or had I wandered into a loop from which there would be no escape? The floor beneath me groaned. The very framework of this ancient structure seemed to shift. Behind me, I could hear the soft shuffling of footsteps approaching. My heart raced, echoing the desperate ticking of time as it continued to unravel. Just as I felt the spirits of the library closing in around me, a light flickered ahead, a promise of escape. I rushed towards it, heart pounding in my ears, the sounds of whispering books fading into the distance. I burst through the door and into the cool night air, gasping for breath as I stumbled onto the steps outside. With every hurried step taken away from the cryptic library, I thought about the figure, the warnings, the peculiar clock. Was my encounter simply a dream conjured by the chilling atmosphere, or had I somehow breached a boundary not meant to be crossed? Those questions hung heavy in my mind as I walked away, leaving the stories and the shadows behind me. What truly lies within those walls, and what price is paid for knowledge best left undiscovered? Those thoughts would haunt my nights, the ticking of clocks echoing backward in my conscience. Don't forget to subscribe for more. We keep watch.